Gonda, the punter, stands on the 40-yard line. And that'll roll into the back of the end zone over the head of Sidney Webb, and there's 41 seconds left on the clock. That's a lot of time. Not that Morehead has done a whole lot offensively, but that is a lot of time still in this quarter.
Yeah, a lot of times with 3 timeouts, right? So,
and all of their timeouts.
And since Bryce Patterson has entered the game, we've seen them push the ball down the middle of the field a lot more with some success. So it's not unreasonable to think they can get down there and try to get some points on the board, especially even maybe try for a field goal.
Patterson, the redshirt junior, replacing the starter Carter Cravens, who played a few plays in the first half and then was pulled. That's complete to Ryan Upp, the #1 receiver in the conference. He gets pushed down at the 45-yard line. No flag.
I don't know why they just don't call a timeout here.
Clock does stop to move the chains. And now it starts again as Patterson is going to throw again. Intercepted. Picked off by Shug Bentley. Bentley back across the 45-yard line. And there's 24 seconds left in the half. Stevenson over the middle, finds Dempsey. Mike Dempsey into the end zone.
A great job by Dempsey there. He bobbled the football a little bit as it was thrown to him, but he was able to secure it. And after that, there was nothing else left to do. He adds an extra juke move right at the goal line to make sure he scores, and then he kicks in the door as a part of his celebration. Great job by that young man as he continued to make a name for himself so far this season and proving that he is a staple in this offense.
Extra point is good. Mike Dempsey, the freshman from Tampa Bay Tech, has his 2nd touchdown of the season, and they've come in back-to-back weeks. Got his first last week against Davidson, and number 42 is in the end zone this week against Morehead State. Current standings in the Pioneer Football League. There are 4 teams that have yet to lose in the conference, but only one is unbeaten overall, and that is Presbyterian. They're 5-0. They're ranked. They are a really good team this year. There are a handful of teams that are still looking for their first wins in conference. Davidson, Valpo, St. Thomas, and the team kicking off right now, Morehead State, 0-2 in the Pioneer League. But they are on the board after the touchdown run by Stopke, 21-7 here in DeLand.
Yeah, and some of those teams will be falling down that board, that standings board. You got Butler, who is down by 9 points with just a minute left against Presbyterian, so they'll probably get their first conference loss. And then also Drake and San Diego play each other, so you'll see what happens there. And who would have thought at this point in the season that Stetson could be looking at 2-1 in conference and moving their way on up those rankings as they were voted to be, further down at the bottom this year.
St. Thomas and Davidson play each other today, so someone is going to get a conference win at the end of the day in Davidson, North Carolina. 10 minutes to go in this one. Hatters have the ball back after the touchdown. Give is to Clark. Can't stop, won't stop, my partner says. And Clark, who has been the workhorse today.
And how he found a yard in that or 2 yards in that situation, I will never know. I mean, he was literally surrounded by Eagles.
2nd down and 8 as he takes a break. Caden Betts is the other guy who's been working in the backfield. And the quarterback, Stevenson, has carried the ball a lot, too. He's got 16 carries today. Clark leads with 17. This is Betts. They haven't been using him quite as much. That's his 7th carry of the day. But I wouldn't be surprised, particularly if if Clark needs a little bit of a breather, you might see more of Caden Betts. He had a big game last week. I mean, everybody did, but Betts was one of them, 124 yards rushing.
Yeah, whenever you can run over 100 yards, I'm sure the only thing that he would have wanted last week is a touchdown to go with it, but he got it this week.
3rd down and 6. Stevenson. Gets popped on the near sideline.
And that was a big hit, and Stevenson is down. That was a huge hit.
Alex Herrera was the guy who made the tackle, and Stevenson is on his knees on the Stetson sideline. Watch the hit.
And you can hear it from up here.
Herrera came up from his defensive back position to make that tackle.
And he's still on the ground.
It's going to bring up 4th down. The punting unit is on for the Hatters, but the bigger concern is Chris Stevenson, the starting quarterback, making his 2nd straight start. He's still on his back on the Stetson sideline. Brett Gonda's punt is going to be down at the 40-yard line, so we'll keep an eye on that sideline and see what happens next with Chris Stevenson. In the meantime, the Eagles have the football back. Bryce Patterson, 9 of 18 today. Been sacked twice. He does have 1 interception. He didn't start the game. Carter Cravens did. Cravens didn't play last week. He was injured. Started. He went 2 of 6, threw an interception, and was pulled out of the game in favor of Patterson. Patterson going deep. He's got a receiver open. Incomplete. Montez Green. This is the best the offense has looked all day long, honestly, now that they're playing a hurry up.
Yeah, you're like, I wish they would have been in 4-minute offense all day if you're an Eagles fan, right?
Where's this been? They're marching down the field. The problem is the clock is running. Patterson. Lanier around the edge. Out of bounds, knocked out at the 5. It's a 1st down. And Morehead State is knocking on the door again. And they're not taking a whole lot of time to do it.
Yeah, you see a couple Hatters on the front, the defensive front with their hands on their hips. So it's been a long drive, and when you go quick like that, it can be tough on those big fellas up front.
Lanier again picks his way. And he's in. 14, well, 13 for now, unanswered. 14 pending the kick for the Eagles, who were down 14-0 to begin this 4th quarter.
And a great job by Lanier there, finding the gap. You see him hurdle over a couple of legs and finds his way into the end zone. Great run by him, and it's tightened this window for the Hatters, down to 7 points.
Yeah, it was 21-0 just moments ago, and now back-to-back drives. The Eagles find the end zone. It's 21-14, and still just over 6 minutes to play. Stevenson sends his tight end in motion. Fakes the handoff. They are going to throw it on 3rd down, or are they? Stevenson makes a couple of guys miss. What a gutsy play. Didn't have anything downfield. He's still on his feet. Made a couple of tacklers miss, got the 1st down, and that may have sealed the football game. The man of the hour for the 2nd week in a row, Chris Stevenson, 19 carries, 106 yards on the ground, plus the rushing touchdown. This is after the record-setting performance on the ground last week against Davidson. Just came up with a big 1st down run that may have saved the game as he hands this one off to Caden Betts. You saw his passing numbers as well, 9 of 17 for 1 passing touchdown. That was to Mike Dempsey, 2nd week in a row that Dempsey has found the end zone.
And Morehead State still not using any timeouts.
I'm fascinated by this. Now they do. They will not have to run another play. The Stetson Hatters moving to 3-4 on the year under first-year head coach Mike Jasper. They are 2-1 in the Pioneer Football League. They've won back-to-back games in the conference for the first time since 2019. And Davion Belk, this is far above what was predicted for Stetson by this point in the season, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. People had written Stetson off as a bottom feeder team of this league, and they've come to show that that's not true, that they can be competitive in the PFL this year. You don't have to wait to Coach Jasper's second year, but they're being competitive this year so far in conference play, and great job after having a tough non-conference schedule against Harvard and University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. So great job by them.
So here are some updated standings. Dayton and Valpo, San Diego and Drake have yet to play, but there is Stetson, now 2-1. The other team with that mark in conference is Butler. Today, Stevenson finishing with 106 yards and a rushing touchdown. He was 9 of 17 in the air with a passing touchdown. That was to Michael Dempsey.
Yeah, so they're right up there in that top quadrant of teams in the conference so far. And the games are only going to get harder here in PFL play, but they've done a great job of handling what's been right in front of them and doing a great job of reinvigorating this offense and coming up with a new style and a new identity. They went from a passing team to a running team, and they're just running teams right out of Spec Martin Stadium when they come here to play the Hatters.
For Davion Belk and our entire crew on ESPN Plus, I'm Whit Watson. Thanks for joining us. Final score in DeLand, the Hatters with a win, 21-14 over Morehead State.